What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your girl Candy, or Miss Lady Sugar, from Twitter and YouTube. Okay, that was fucking corny. But anyway, it's your girl Candy, and I'm here to bring you guys a new video. So, first of all, if you guys have read the title, then you already know what your girl finna start talking about. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Also, I really don't have any notes for this because this was not really planned, to be quite honest, but this situation or this discussion just completely got out of fucking hand, so here we are. Anyway, so if you guys weren't on Twitter, just hit my mic too. If you guys aren't on Twitter, excuse me, if you guys aren't on Twitter, well, let me just say there's a lot of things, interesting things that goes on Twitter, and some of it can be good, and sometimes a majority of it can be bad. And during this situation, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was like bad. And let me explain why I think this whole situation was bad. So again, there was this discussion or whatever the fuck you want to call it that was going around on Twitter where all these journalists and people with check marks and influencers or whatever the hell you want to call them were posting basically copy and pasting, the same Game Pass message, and it was just something that continuously just like it's just something that overflowed my TL, and not just mine, but like a plethora of other people that are just kind of annoyed over time. And even when I muted the words off my timeline, because we had a bunch of people saying, if you guys don't like it, just mute it off your timeline, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, mute it off your timeline or block the people that's doing it. And I'm like, okay. So that's exactly what I started to do, and then I had people come under my tweets and posting that bullshit, so they instantly caught the block. There was no arguing, there was no retaliation, there was no nothing. It was just block. And that was my whole mood during that day, is to block motherfuckers and kick their ass to the curb, because you're not finna do that shit under my tweets all randomly. So anyway, like people were just constantly posting this shit and posting it pretty much all day. And then when PlayStation fans started to speak on it, they started, Xbox fans and these journalists, Shills, and all these other motherfuckers started to say, well, you guys need to just learn how to take a joke and blah 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 and this and that and blah blah blah, all types of bullshit. And my whole thing is, like, first of all, a lot of these journalists, okay, so-called journalists and these so-called influencers always express how they don't like the fanboy shit. They don't like console wars. They think they're fucking stupid, and they think grown ass people shouldn't be fucking doing it. But yet these niggas turned around and here they are, they're fucking doing it, and they're trying to call it a joke. By the way, okay, whenever PlayStation fans do actually like do the trolling and the fanboy shit or blah blah blah, most of these for jokes and it's just a laugh. And whenever we do that shit, it's toxic. It's, you guys are toxic fanboys and you guys are this and you guys are that and blah 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 and all types of shit. So I just don't fucking understand why the fuck it's suddenly okay. It's like Microsoft acquiring a fucking publisher that was damn near in their fucking graves is now suddenly like the end all be all for these niggas. Like, these niggas ain't like they haven't had any type of laughter, happiness, or any of that in the past fucking 3 generations. Let me say 2 generations, because that'd be pushing it. And now it's like they feel all bolstered and boosted about this shit, and now these niggas all about jokes and this and that. Suddenly, well, I ain't even gonna say suddenly, because they do still get pretty butthurt about simple stupid shit, but like, this shit funny as shit though, yo. Like I said before, these niggas like are the first ones to get up on this piece talking about how they don't like console wars, and how they think console wars are childish and this and that, but then they participate in this shit, or then they always find their way in a console war like conversation. You feel me? Because like I said this like before, like, if it's something I don't fuck with, I don't like, I'm not gonna fuck with it suddenly and then try to turn around and be like, oh, I'm just joking, you guys need to like fucking stop it, like, stop fucking like taking it so seriously, man. Oh my god, like, I'm not gonna do that. But again, this is coming from the same motherfuckers that are the most oversensitive gamers, if I want to call them, in the whole fucking gaming fucking industry, bruh. You motherfuckers. Y'all can't take a simple goddamn joke, like something so simple and meager. Y'all take it and y'all start again blocking people, getting mad, fucking personal, and saying we toxic and we too grown to be doing this and da 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 all types of shit. But now these niggas want to turn around and do it and say it's just a joke. Okay, so you guys won't have an issue when we turn around and do that bullshit to y'all. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Anyway, so speaking of game services, okay, these journalists are saying, well, we're just joking and this and that and da 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 da, and we're just talking about the Game Pass service. We're allowed to like it. Okay, you're allowed to like whatever the hell you want to like. Just don't push that shit in my face if it's not my cup of tea. Okay, period. Because then it's gonna piss me off and it's gonna make me rant. Okay. And my thing is, if they're all about game services all of a sudden, why don't these niggas talk about PlayStation Now and all the other game services that are out here? Well, Xbox Game Pass is cheaper and da 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 da. Miss me with that bullshit. It ain't got nothing to do with price. This is all about game services. And you motherfuckers preaching about it and how good they are when PS Now offers just as much games as motherfucking Game Pass does, if not more. So, actually, probably more, okay? So I don't even understand this shit. If you're gonna be about all game services, then be about all game services and stop trying to be like, oh well, again, we're only doing this because we like it. No, that's some unbiased ass shit. Because again, if you like game services, then you're gonna talk about all of them, not just one. Okay, point blank, period. You're not just gonna skip out on all the rest of them just to talk about one and then get upset when we say you niggas is being paid off by Microsoft. Because let's be serious, Microsoft had been caught paying motherfuckers off before, so this would not be anything new. It would not be anything new, I promise you. But this shit is crazy though. This shit is crazy. So again, I don't want to hear nobody on this bitch crying about PlayStation fans trolling or making these jokes, making that joke and blah 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 because you niggas did it. And you kept doing it and kept doing it till it became obnoxious. And again, I muted that shit off my timeline. I was blocking motherfuckers like a motherfucker. Like, bitch, get your ass off my timeline with that bullshit. Take that piece of shit somewhere else and keep it moving, Slim, because I don't want to see it on my fucking timeline. And it was even motherfuckers getting mad at that. Like, motherfuckers were legit getting mad at the fact that niggas were blocking niggas that was talking about Game Pass or just pushing it in our faces. Like, how can you be mad when this is the exact shit that y'all told us to do? It's to block these niggas if it's that bothersome. And it was bothersome. And by the way, the Game Pass joke was not fucking funny. It wasn't funny, it was just annoying. And you niggas were high key advertising this shit. And you can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise, okay? Period, point blank. I also want to talk about this whole Starfield situation, and let me just make this real quick. The whole Starfield situation, I promise you, nobody is jealous of it. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say nobody. I'm just going to say a majority of people, a majority of PlayStation fans are not jealous of it, are not crying about it, or not begging for it. Because by the way, I mean, we did only see like, what, a slight few seconds of this game, so we still really don't know what the hell it's about other than the fact that it takes place in space. That's all we really know, and it's by Bethesda. But let's be serious. Let's not act like Bethesda, before Microsoft acquired them, was over here making some well, they were making bangers. Some. Okay, maybe just a few. Okay. Let's not act like suddenly, they've been a beast of a beast of a beast and Microsoft acquired them and then blah, blah, blah. No, Bethesda were in their graves. Okay. Nobody was buying their shit. Okay. Nobody gave a fuck about Bethesda, but now people give a fuck because Microsoft pulled out their wallet and paid $7 billion. It took $7 billion motherfucking dollars for these Xbox niggas to start smiling and laughing and joking. That's fucking sad, yo. That's sad. Like, you niggas only really smile and get uppitied up whenever Microsoft start buying out all these third parties and all this other bullshit. Well, Sony does it too, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, see, a lot of the studios that Sony buy out are studios and shit that Sony have had under them and nurtured and have been under them for fucking years and decades. compared to all the third parties that Microsoft just buy out and keep it moving that have been making multi-platform games for years. Because I know one of y'all motherfuckers are going to try to pull out Insomniac, but Insomniac pretty much been nurtured under Sony, even though they weren't a part of them for motherfucking decades. So, that's a whole different fucking situation. But like I said, you know, nobody gave a shit about Bethesda until Bethesda were in their graves. And ZeniMax as a motherfucking whole. Nobody cared about they fucking games. Nobody was looking for they fucking games. Period. Point blank. And now everybody give a shit. Now everybody want to push all this bullshit. Now everybody want to act like they give a fuck. And now everybody want to start saying exclusives matter. When we, PlayStation fans, been saying that bullshit since forever. Since you niggas pulled this dumbass narrative out your asses that exclusives don't matter. Because if exclusives didn't matter, okay, then what would be the point of having all these goddamn consoles? Okay, because at the end of the day, if PlayStation is the best, do you think anybody would be buying all of their games if there was no such things as exclusive on a fucking Xbox or any of that? Hell, maybe everybody would just buy everything on a fucking PC, and all the consoles would just be fucking non-existent. Nobody would give a shit about consoles. Consoles would just be nothing. So that's why we have exclusives, so we can distinguish them all apart from each other. Okay, for them to give us different experiences and keep these developers and publishers all on their fucking toes. Period. Okay, but anyway, like I said, nobody's let me stop saying that. There are hardly, if at all, anyone that is jealous of Starfield, that is begging on their knees for this game, because again, it's by Bethesda, and people haven't cared for Bethesda since fucking 2009 or 2011. So I don't know why you guys, I don't even know where this narrative even came from, and why did they just then again, you know what, I shouldn't even be fucking surprised, because this is what Xbox niggas do. They pull shit out of their ass, they run with it, and then suddenly it's PlayStation fans are jealous of this. PlayStation fans are fucking begging on their knees for this. Just like recently there was some stupid ass article that released saying PlayStation fans were begging for Forza, and I'm like, okay, read the article, and it's really not any PlayStation fans that's begging for it. It's just these dumbass journalists making up all this bullshit just to have something to talk about, because gaming news usually gets fucking dry after E3, and it's not like E3 was super wet. E3 was fucking dry as fuck too, but you know what I'm saying, like this is just something that usually happens after we've gotten E3 and all this other stuff, you know. So I don't know, bro. This shit wild as a motherfucker. Like, this shit don't make no damn sense, man. So like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't want to hear nobody crying about PlayStation fans making jokes or trying to come at us sideways for being toxic fanboys supposedly, when we start joking around and trolling about and this and that and blah blah blah. I don't want to hear none of that. Especially these goddamn these fucking journalists and hypocritical ass journalists and influencers and all these other punk ass motherfuckers that rock with this shit, and then always come against PlayStation fans when we do this shit. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck out of here. This is why we think you niggas are paid off, because you do shit like this and you say shit like this. Like, miss me with that shit. Period. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video short. And I may or may not leave a video question of the day or not, who knows, we'll see. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Chucking the deuces.